How you doing, folks? Welcome again to Wildlife Wednesday. I'm telling you, Joxer, the whole world's in a terrible state of chassis. This final line from Sean O'Casey's play Juno and the Paycock, first spoken by Barry Fitzgerald as Captain Boyle on the Abbey Theatre stage in 1924, seems almost prophetic when applied to our world today, 100 years later. A world facing into an unknown and possibly unknowable future as we continue our social distancing and self-isolation. Yes, there's no doubt about it. Our world in lockdown is a strange place. Simple things we took for granted not so long ago, like a walk in our local park, are no longer straightforward. They now require planning and self-awareness, making sure we don't pass by anyone at a distance closer than 2 meters or 6'6". Strange indeed. But at least we're not in total isolation. We can, if we wish, take that walk in our local park and breathe in the fresh air, while at the same time getting some well-needed exercise to the soundtrack of the natural world. And on the subject of the natural world, I don't think the birds and other animals are aware of COVID-19 or any other coronavirus for that matter. Their lives go on as they always have, mating, nest building and raising young, as they've always done down through the centuries. Strangely enough though, the animal kingdom does appear in some sense to be aware of a change in the environment around them, something they haven't encountered before. There have been regular reports in newspapers, on TV, and on social media platforms of animals appearing on the streets of our villages, towns, and cities because there are few or no people around. I've also heard many people comment on the fact that they're more aware than ever of the dawn and dusk chorus. It's as though they've never heard it before. But now, because there's no noise pollution from traffic in particular, the sounds of the natural world are more obvious than they've ever been. Over the last couple of days, I've taken a few hours here and there to wander along the hedgerows locally. Unfortunately, due to the fact that we can only travel within a radius of 2 kilometers or 1.25 miles from our homes, some of my favorite places are out of bounds because they're outside of that limit. But having said that, there's no need to wander any further than your own back garden to find wildlife. It's all around us if we just take the time to look. I know it's great to travel and experience exotic and magical places in search for wildlife, but your local patch, be it a park or woodland, stream or river, can be just as exciting in their own way. And having said that, in the few hours I did spend out and about over the last few days, I managed to photograph 18 different species of bird without any great effort. I've put together a little slideshow of the species I did manage to photograph over the few hours I did spend out and about. Some birds, like the blackbird, were out in force. I lost count how many I saw. Others, like the common sandpiper, offered just up a quick sighting before flying off. Not far from where I saw the sandpiper, someone had put food on a tree branch and the blue tits were taking full advantage of it. I managed to photograph 2 of my favourite species while I was at it, the goldfinch and blackcap. And of course no hedgerow would be complete without a robin or two. I've included two birds nesting, a mute swan and a coot. The swan was a little bit difficult due to the fact that it was well concealed amongst the trees on a little island, and unfortunately there was a large piece of plastic sheeting beside the nest. The coot's nest, on the other hand, was out in the open, not too far from the bank. Around the other lakes in the park, there were, of course, plenty of grey herons, as always. Other species in the slideshow include song thrush, mistle thrush, starling and long-tailed tit, little grebe and dunnock, and not forgetting, of course, Ireland's smallest bird, the goldcrest. Plus some jackdaws and collared doves. So I think I've proved my point that you don't have to travel far to see some of the country's most beautiful birds. Well, that's it for another week, folks. Thanks again for watching Wildlife Wednesday. And please give this episode a like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, ring the bell so you're notified every time I upload new content. Take care, stay healthy, wash your hands and maintain social distancing. You may help to save a life. Bye, folks.